And Latif's like, man, I'm going to take you to this really, happening seafood place up in the Bronx. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go.
City Island.
City Island, yeah, there you go. So we go out there, and the food was good, and then he takes me back to where I'm staying at, and, everything's all good. Next morning, and for 2 days later while I'm in New York, I could not get out of bed. I was so sick. I was throwing up. Don't ask. There was plenty of other stuff going on, but I was like, gee, thanks, guy.
Man, but we ate the same food, man. I don't know. I think you probably stopped off and had a snack before you went
Nah,
to bed.
Because when I got up to go to the bathroom, I came back, I seen you touching my food, so I think you might have done something, man.
Well, that was Seafood City, man. Hey, man, it's the Bronx, man. It's either fish or rats. So maybe you had the rat one. I don't know.
Man, I don't know, man. I felt like all I know is I felt like I ate like 3 or 4 of those corner hot dogs. They bring
we
out
missed that, man. You talk about Seafood City to Angel, and my kids forget it, man. Oh man, I missed that. I miss Seafood City.
I do not miss that place one bit. I was only there once. I don't miss that place at all, man.
Funny. No, but that was just for you, bro.
Oh, okay,
Nobody's
cool.
ever gonna experience that.
I appreciate that. I know a couple other DJs I'd like to suggest you give it to, though. But any artists? I mean, without naming names, any artists that you refuse to book?
Who am I refusing these days? Who am I refusing?
You don't have to name names, just anybody.
Yeah, I'll give you names. Sure,
okay.
They just have to pop in my head. The reason why they don't pop in my head because I refuse to book them.
Oh, okay,
So
I got you.
I never talk about them. God. Acts that I did refuse, like Johnny O, there was a time I refused to book him. I book him now. I basically put the acts sometimes on timeout, and I actually literally give their shows away. And I tell them, I said, well, if they call me for you, I don't book TKA. I'm sorry, with KL and K7. I don't mess with them. And I'm just not happy with the way they do business. You know what I mean? And I have a phony issue, man. I have a phony issue. I've dealt with that, and I can't speak up on what I do and then
fall back.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. And there was an issue that I had when Avi and Angel, they came to me once and they were like, listen, we're doing this together and we want to go out as Avi and Angel, formerly of TKA. So I called Kay and his manager, 13, and I said, listen, I was cool with them, man. I got them tons of shows. They know they made a lot of money with me. And I told them, I said, listen, Avi and Angel stepped to me, I said, they're going to go as Avi and Angel, formerly of TKA. Now, the only reason I was booking them before was these guys had no intentions on doing anything. They were done. Those are times when I don't have a problem booking an act. So if everybody quits Expose except Jeanette, but they really don't want to be a part of it, as long as people know, because I will tell my promoters who it is, then it's okay. I don't have a problem with that. But to create the group, kick out original members just so the bulk of the funds come to you, and then you just pay your two dancers or whatever, a couple $100, and then you're not letting the originals in, then I have a problem with that.
Right.
I really have a problem with that. So when I approached them, they said, well, that's fine as long as they use formerly of. So I said, cool. So they were cool. I said, all right, you know what? I can still do TK/K7, and then I do Avi and Angel formerly of. The problem is when I put them on my e-blast now reaches about 76,000 people. And when the blast goes out, pretty much everybody in the entertainment, in this market at least, knows what's going on, regardless of what it is that I'm doing.
Right.
And that's, years of me building that mailing list. So once they saw I promoted and I did a blast with Avi and Angel, I got a phone call. Oh, I didn't know you were going to do a blast with them. I'm like, well, how do I promote? No, yeah, but, that's going to hurt us. I said, so how do you want me to promote them? You want me to just get on the phone and tell people? I said, nah, I can't do it like that.
Right.
Well, listen, Kay said it's going to be either us or them. Now, mind you, I made a lot of money with Kay. A hell of a lot more money than I ever made with Avi and Angel. But you know what, man? I couldn't let anybody, control me that way. I just couldn't do it. And they said, well, it's either going to be them or us. And I had to choose Avi and Angel. I just had to do it, man.
Right.
And I took them off. And, yeah, financially, it didn't really hurt me. But, yeah, I didn't make any money off them anymore. And Avi and Angel, they don't work as much as I would like them to work. So that was basically a lose-lose situation for a lot of people. But I couldn't have somebody come to me and say, well, me or them, and then I'm gonna go back to Avian Angel and say, listen, guys, I can't promote you. I didn't feel right about doing that, Kaz, and I just ate it. You know?
I hear you, man. I hear you. Which, that leads into a whole big thing. Now, you have a campaign you put together on Facebook. You created a group called Freestyle Against Phonies. Real quick, summarize up exactly what you're trying to do with that and how people can see it.
There's a lot of acts out there that are actually being strong-held they're being basically pushed out of their groups, whether it's by a manager or by other members of the group, and it's just not right for the fans.
Right.
Okay, now if acts just don't want to perform anymore, that's a different story. When David Torres went out there, that's another artist I don't book anymore, by the way. I don't do David Torres, even though I used to do him all the time.
Right.
That's because none of the other members were anywhere to be found. So he was representing the whole group. When the group came together, when I got in touch with Remy and Reggie, I tried to put them together. He denied it. He rejected it. He said, no, I'm not going to do that, because he was making his money now. He didn't want to share it. I can understand him to a point. But now I gotta stop. I gotta get out of what I'm thinking and what he's thinking, and try to think a little bit about the fans. There's gonna come a time we're all getting older. Average freestyle artists now is in their 40s.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer do we have? Eventually they're gonna die off, and we're gonna have no choice but to get some phonies up in there, some people for tributes. That hasn't happened yet. So all I'm doing with this is I'm trying to, and if you notice these flyers that are going out with some of these concerts, first it's the phony girls, who are the so-called cover girls, and then you'll see, Nice and Wild, which won't be him, and then there'll be TKA, which is not them, and then there'll be Will to Power, which is not them, and it just goes on and on. So it starts from one artist to two artists to 3 to 5. So with Freestyle for Phonies, what I'm trying to do is set that site up so that way, if anyone has any questions on any of these flyers, I'm not telling you not to go, but I'm going to tell you what's phony and what's not phony. It's up to you. Now, if it's a phony girl show, that's a little more personal. I might tell you, don't go.
Right.
Don't go. But in actuality, you shouldn't go to any of them. And eventually, these promoters they don't want that kind of drama. Hopefully, they'll stop booking them. I'm not telling them to put Angel in there. I can care. Angel works. She doesn't need it. Just don't put these other girls in there.
Right.
Keep it original. Let's try to keep the integrity. The freestyle artists that perform with them, they're just as bad. I've told each and every one, you're sharing the stage with them. Okay? What makes you think, that somebody's not going to do that to you?
Right.
So, and I'm a booking agent. I have a lot to lose by speaking up like this. People can actually just say, yo, don't get no shows from Latif. That's fine. I got my investments. I'll still make money. So since I have that backing, I'm able to speak up, and I think I'm a good representative for that. I am involved in this business. I do make a living in this business, and I have done things in this business for many years. So yeah, I should speak up.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Don't let it fool you. I learned how to roll my R's. I can say a few things.
Oh, really?
But anyway, man. Okay, so we talked about all that. Now, the main reason you're calling in for tonight is you have a book out now. You put together a book. It's called Freestyle for Life. Right. Tell me about what's going on with this book. I mean, how'd this all come about?
Freestyle for Life. Well, I love to write, man. I love to write. Everything I write, scripts, I write blogs, I have plays, and I've always wanted to write a book. Everybody.
You're very verbose.
Especially in this business, wanted to write a book. And it takes a serious discipline to do it. One of the benefits that I have, and one of the ways that I stay above, ahead of the game in the freestyle market, is that I get up really early in the morning. So most people go to bed at 5 a.m. That's what time I'm getting up. Now, you can't keep me up past midnight. I'll fall asleep unless we're doing a show and I'm drinking a Red Bull.
Right.
But at home, I try to watch a 11:30 movie. Forget it. It's done. I'm going to sleep. Even on a Friday, Saturday night, Angel cracks up. She goes, "Oh my God, it's Friday night. You'll sleep at 10:30." I can't keep my eyes open. So I had this idea, and I wanted to do a novel, and I said, you know what? people complaining, especially the freestyle, the artists and people involved. Yeah, we're going in these clubs, nobody's promoting, and 10 people are coming, and we just can't pack them in these concerts that we used to do, 6,000, now it's down to 600, and I kept listening. I'm like, and I started thinking about it. I said, wait a minute. Here's how I looked at it. I said, most of our fans, and when I say our fans, I mean the freestyle artists, most of our fans are the same age as the artist. So let's say when Angel was 18 and she put out Show Me, so were her fans. Most of them were pretty much 18 or better,
Right.
Give or take. Now, the fans are older. They're in their 40s. Some are reaching their 50s. Do they really want to go to these clubs anymore? I don't. You can't drag me to a club, man. If I'm not working, and when I do these shows, I do a show, and I'm out of there when I'm done. So I started thinking. I said, well, what is it that our people like? What is it that this market likes? People say, oh, freestyle's dead. No, it's not dead. It's just changing. It's maturing. It's getting older. Well, what do we like? We love to go to the movies.
Right.
We love to see plays. We might take a cruise, watch some TV, maybe see a concert here and there, and of course read books and go on the internet and stuff like that. That's what we do. So I said, well, you know what? Maybe we can continue this freestyle thing in other areas of the arts, And I said, well, people can still experience freestyle and what it's about. And a lot of us who grew up with it can now experience freestyle basically from their chair, sitting back on the couch, reading a book. So, I sat down and I had started writing this book in 2009. 2009. And when I start writing, it flows. I mean, I type really fast, and it's just like
right.
And I don't like to be disturbed. People come in, try to talk to me. The phones ring. I don't pick anything up. I do it so early, so the phones don't ring. Most of my jobs that I do as an agent is on the West Coast. So it's still my phones aren't going to ring until about 1 o'clock. So from 5 to about 10 a.m., I'm typing away, And I just came up with a story. And it was a story that, like any writer, it has a lot of me in it. Even though I don't want it to be an autobiography, but it has a lot of me. And I think anything I write is always going to have a little bit of me in it.